My name is Deb Lopez, founder of Animal Fairy Charities and co-leader of a national grassroots campaign for animal welfare. I have loved and fostered companion animals all my life and am now working to help others who are in the trenches every day, rescuing, caring for, and providing for animals in need. And now, Animal Fairy Charities presents Animal Advocate Television, a show designed to help inform, educate, and engage the public on animal welfare issues and provide support and recognition for those who are out there giving of themselves to make things better for our companion animals. So join us as we take you on tours of shelters and rescues right here in Wisconsin. We'll keep you up to date on legislation and laws governing animal welfare and show you ways you can get involved by fostering and adopting. We'll even have a segment for children aimed at teaching them compassion at an early age. So stay tuned and help be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Animal Advocate Television is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Animal Doctor, Bark and Scratch Outpost, HAWS, Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. Last week we told you a little bit about Bruno. He was a dog that was found in an alley at 4 weeks old, couldn't move his back legs, and it was questionable if he even had feeling in his lower extremities. Castaway Pet Rescue took Bruno in. He's 5 months old now and is here with his foster mom in Milwaukee, getting hydrotherapy 3 times a week to help strengthen his lower body. Bruno's come a long way since 4 weeks of age. We were so inspired by Bruno that we've decided to dedicate our 2012 premiere season to helping Bruno with his medical care and to helping Bruno find his forever home. Please join us in partnership with Castaway Pet Rescue and helping us help Bruno. Log on to animalfairycharities.org to learn how you can help.
Here at HAWS, we're dedicated to sending home the best possible pet. That doesn't necessarily mean that coming to HAWS you're going to get a golden retriever puppy or a purebred German shepherd. What it means is the animals that come to us for behavior problems or medical problems or because the families can no longer keep them, we have a dedication to working with these animals and ensuring that they go home as the best possible adoption candidate that they can. Medically, our Annie's Fund supports these animals. Through Annie's Fund, we're able to offer surgery to some of the animals that require some corrective surgery. We are also able to get them started on a treatment protocol, which people can take home and working with their local veterinarian to carry through, so people know what they're adopting when they're adopting from us. In addition to that, our behavior department is working very hard to correct behavior issues and temperament problems in animals before they would go home, and starting them on a course of training and behavior modification that the owners then can take home and work with on their own.
We had a cat come in about 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago now, whose name was Grant, and he was this darling little white kitten who was pretty much dealt a rough lot in life. He was found by the side of the road injured, had a severe leg injury, and our spay-neuter clinic that also can do all sorts of medical things ended up kind of intervening and helping this little guy out. We did have help from some of our business partners and local vets to make sure he was getting the best possible care and get on the road to recovery. But he still needed a lot of time in a home other than just an adoptive home where he was going to be, kind of left alone all day. He went to a foster home and was doted on. What happened to be that one of the foster homes that we have here is somebody who also works in our spay-neuter clinic, and she's kind of a sucker for these cases. And she and her husband took Grant in and just loved him from the get-go. He was never going to go home to any place else but their home. So now Grant has completely recovered. His fur has grown back on his injury. He is eating, he's playing. Most of the time though, he's laying around in the sun. We've got great pictures of him that they've shown us of him laying in a window, in the bed in the window. He's just pampered and life is good for Grant.
Welcome. I am Dr. Jody, a small animal veterinarian who has been practicing in southeastern Wisconsin for 23 years. My career took a turn toward the unique and gratifying when I learned about holistic pet care. It has become my mission to enlighten and educate colleagues and fellow pet lovers as to the necessity for integrated, more natural dog and cat health care. In this segment, we will shine the spotlight on the importance of your pet's physical and emotional health. Behavioral problems are one of the most common reasons for pet relinquishment. Put yourself in your pet's paws. If you were confined indoors eating bowls of cereal all day long, wouldn't you go a little stir-crazy? Some dogs and cats exhibit destructive behaviors when left alone. Not allowed to exercise or fed diets high in starch. Conventional veterinarians attempt to change these behaviors with antipsychotic medications such as amitriptyline, clomipramine, or Prozac. Many animal behaviorists and dog trainers say pets need a job, something to do that is physically and mentally stimulating. A holistic veterinarian believes in addressing the mind, body, and spirit with natural means if possible. So before you rescue or purchase a pet, be sure your lifestyle is compatible with the breed type you have selected. My newly rescued Pomeranian Corgi mix has shown great aptitude for herding sheep. Herding the sheep at the farm helps him burn some major energy and gives him an outlet for his natural tendency to be an ankle nipper. My aging Terrier Corgi mix stays physically fit by swimming. We get some one-on-one time, so this activity helps prevent an older pet from getting depressed from inactivity. Let's not forget about our frustrated felines. Cat trees and a variety of cat toys are a must. All carnivores should be fed a meat-based diet. Processed, high-grain diets can contribute to sugar jitters in pets just as they do in children. If we do need to help a patient with a medication who is unusually agitated, we can use calming Western or Chinese herbals or diffuse calming essential oils, which are safe and effective.
Hi, I'm Lori Minetti. We as a compassionate nation can no longer look the other way when it comes to our abandoned, abused, or neglected animal companions. It's time for us to step up and be the strength and the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. You can be that voice through your tax-deductible donation to Animal Fairy Charities, an organization dedicated to raising and distributing funds to other nonprofit animal welfare groups. Log on to animalfairycharities.org or call 262-989-0604.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Animal Doctor, Bark and Scratch Outpost, Hawes Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. And now a word from our sponsors.
I felt that there was a great need for not only emergency and critical care, but referral work as surgery, internal medicine, critical care medicine, something that was open 24/7. And I was very excited to come down here, open up a new hospital, and bring this type of care to the Milwaukee area. Also, there's nobody in this area that sees exotic pets. So that was another thing that was going to be one of my passions of providing for the Milwaukee area.
Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Mecca.
Got pet nutrition? We do. You are what you eat. The same is true for your pet. We offer a large variety of local and national brands of organic and natural pet foods. Benefits of feeding a natural pet food are less shedding, less stool, and less illness. A locally produced natural dog food is 40 pounds, $26.99. Our helpful staff is available 7 days a week. Bark and Scratch Outpost voted Best of Milwaukee, Shepherd Express 2008, MilwaukeePetFood.com. Grooming on site.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha is so much more than a shelter. Our adoption staff, animal caregivers, and behavior department ensure the best possible adoptive companion. Our spay-neuter programs actively combat pet overpopulation in our area, and our animal rescue team safely returns lost pets back home. PAWS does one-on-one consultations, holds a variety of training classes and seminars, and even hosts camps for kids. Our shelter is and always has been open admissions and full service, providing resources for pets and their people for a happy lifetime together. PAWS, we're building a society that's humane.
Hello, I'm Dr. David Berdecka. I'm a board-certified surgeon that works here at the Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals. I'll run through some of the more common surgeries that we do and perform here. I would say on an emergency basis, the most common things we see are GDV or bloat. We see bigger dogs with this more commonly than little dogs. And what happens is at some point their stomach dilates with air and it can twist on itself and it can become a surgical emergency. It can cause them to go into shock and have systemic problems. So the emergency and critical care department stabilizes them. We go into surgery to derotate their stomach, and then we suture the stomach back to the body wall in order to prevent it from happening again. We also see splenic and liver tumor masses that can end up bleeding. The blood fills up the abdomen, and again, those animals go into shock and have problems on a systemic level. The critical care department stabilizes them. If they need blood transfusion, we'll give them that. But again, we go in surgically and remove either the spleen if it's a splenic problem or the portion of the liver that's bleeding. We also do a lot of foreign body retrieval, other types of masses throughout the intestines, urinary bladder surgery if there's stones, or sometimes male cats will have problems urinating, so we have to do surgery in order to relieve that issue and allow them to not have problems anymore. We do a lot of surgery for different types of cancer, whether it be in the abdomen or in the chest or on the skin itself. The other types of surgeries, we do a lot of knee surgery, just similar to people when they tear their ACL ligament. Dogs have a similar problem that we treat surgically. So that's probably our most common orthopedic procedure. We do a lot of fracture repair, whether that dog was hit by a car or accidentally stepped on or dropped. You see a fair amount of fractures. Regardless of what it is, we're here to help your animal, and we're more than happy to be here and do what we can to make things better.
It's with great pleasure that I introduce today's Celebrity Corner special guest. I was so delighted to learn how deep this guy goes when it comes to animals. He is former NBA player, former Milwaukee Bucks head coach, and currently is the head coach of the Denver Nuggets basketball team. Please help me welcome Mr. George Carl.
My labs are Rookie and Cody. Rookie, I think, is going on 9. Cody is going on 3 or 4. And they're the strangest 2 labs I've ever been around. One of them loves attention, and one of them likes just to hang out. And I couldn't tell you who the alpha dog is, you know, and it's fun. Rookie was the first one. I had him since he was a baby. And about 3 or 4 years ago, Kim and I were walking through a PetSmart and saw Cody sitting there kind of by himself when he was about 6 months old, and we couldn't say no. And if we lived on a big acreage, we'd probably have about 6 or 7 dogs. I'd like to have a chocolate one, a tan one, a couple black ones, and if there's any other, I think there's a red one. I think there's a red lab now. So labs are tremendous. Dogs are tremendous, but labs just have that genuine love. They love you every day, no matter how you treat them, just as long as you feed them. If If you don't feed them, they might eat your house down, but other than that, they're the best dogs in the world. My biggest philosophical thought on animals, especially dogs, are I think they teach children how to connect with people. And people say, what are you talking about? Well, connection with human beings is not the easiest thing in the world. When we get older, we don't. I mean, I have trouble connecting, but it's easy to connect with a dog. And I think when kids have to go through that initial stage of connection with a friend or a teacher or a mentor or a minister or a priest or something like that, I think somehow they kind of work it through. I know I did. I worked it through with I had a dog for 16 years, a mutt named Jinx. And I did paper routes with him, I rode bikes with him, I did everything with him. And when I had problems, I talked to him before I talked to my mom and dad. So I think it's kind of like, I think there's a soulfulness to their love, and they're there for you all the time. Everybody should have a dog. My first dog, Jinx, he used to love to get in the car, used to stick his head out the window, all that stuff that dogs do. And my dad says, you got to take him down, you got to put him down. And so I said, okay. And I tried to get him in the car the day I was going to take him to the place to put him away. And he wouldn't get in my car. He wouldn't get in the car. And I couldn't do it. I said, he knows what I'm doing. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. My dad had to do it. So I have my moments of, I mean, I cry when I lose my dog. And I think everybody that has that passion for him is that way. I think there's a connection to animals that I definitely have. Of course, dogs are my passion, but Kim and I went to a wolf sanctuary outside of Fort Collins, Colorado, and that was really a wonderful experience. And I enjoy with my 7-year-old Casey talking about animals. We have the zoo books already. Every month we get the zoo books. I think somewhere along the way I gotta get to Africa one more time just to go into the wilderness and feel the soulfulness of animals and being in their country, in their territory, in their land, rather than the humanness of where we've taken over so much of our country that we don't let our animals have the freedom to be who they are. I think the connection between animals and people bring good things out of people. It just seems there's a friendliness, there's an enzyme or a juice that animals make us feel loving and compassionate. And if we could have that as human beings with each other, we'd probably be a better society. But there's just a connection of peace and relaxation. There's a connection of comfort, of support that we all strive to have through relationships, through our peace in our own life. It's somewhat spiritual in my mind. It's somewhat godlike. Well, we read all the fairy books, and the animal fairies is the most important to her. To take care of the animals is extremely important in fairyland. And you know something, I think they're right. Taking care of the animals should be extremely important in America, a lot more important than it is right now.
Our loyal companion animals provide us with unconditional love, yet many of them end up abandoned. The lucky ones end up in shelters and rescues with a second chance for a new life. Fortunately, there are people out there willing to give their time, love, and resources to help give back to our animal companions. But the costs for food, shelter, medical, or even transportation to care for these animals can be staggering. Please log on to animalfairycharities.org or call today 262-989-0604 and give something back to those who give so much.
Rocks Positive Canine Training is a humane canine training facility offering training for all dogs regardless of breed or behavior problems. Trainer Frank Allison specializes in the badly behaved dog, including but not limited to aggressive and antisocial issues. Rocks Positive Canine Training offers private and group lessons to accommodate your schedule. If you're looking for a trainer for your dog, look to Rocks Positive Canine Training, 262-662-4160.
Are you looking for that special companion? Stop in at Secondhand Purrs, where we can match up your needs perfectly. We're a cat rescue dedicated to the rehoming of abandoned or unwanted cats. We have a wide variety to choose from, babies, young adults, and seniors. Come in and spend some time selecting your new family member, or visit our website at secondhandpurrs.org. We are continually taking in new cats that need a loving home like yours. Come and visit us today.
Your dog is your companion, your work partner, your exercise buddy. Your dog makes you laugh and leaves you astounded at their athletic abilities. In fact, your dog means just about everything to you. So whether you have puppies or senior dogs, Peggy Morsch Life Photography knows your dog is special. It's only the best for your dog. Peggy Morsch Life Photography.
Last week we featured part 1 of MADAC. We left off where Executive Director David Flagler talks about the 7-day holding period and explains to our viewers what that means. Here is part 2 of that special series.
The 7-day period is a time that people have to look for their lost pets. But again, there are things that can happen that can shorten that period. Many times an animal is medically compromised. You know, when your pet runs loose, it runs a risk of being hit by a car. If we cannot keep an animal alive and comfortable for their owner, then you may be faced with an animal being euthanized for out of compassion's sake. And so that's why it's so important to look for your pets immediately. That we may do everything we can to stabilize an animal, but if your animal's been injured and you want to guarantee that it receives the medical attention that it deserves, that you need to find the animal immediately. Now during this 7-day period, it is also a period of time that potential owners may be able to look at animals that are not claimed by their owners and can be placed for adoption. For those animals that reach the 7-day hold time, then we begin to work with area animal rescues to place the animal with their organization, who is better geared up for adoptions than we are, and our friends out there in placing animals. There's a wonderful network in the Milwaukee area for moving animals about to move them into shelters where they can be placed. But please keep in mind that Milwaukee still has a pet overpopulation problem, and so that we need all of the help that we can in moving these animals out. And if you're interested in adopting an animal, please get with one of our partners or check the animals here in our shelter, that will be thrilled to add this animal to your household. The highest priority that I placed in coming into this organization is to develop a relationship with our rescue partners. Many of the partners have approached me and have asked that we change our policies so that we can better facilitate the faster movement of animals out of our shelter. And I think that that is something that that we're committed to doing.
Hi, my name is Ashley Hodell, and this is the Life Skills for Puppies class, and we are today going to learn a few things, such as play skills, timeouts, drop it, and visual and sound sensitivity. We will go through all those things. One reason you take this Life Skills for Puppies class is to get your dog used to other apparatuses that we have here interesting objects that they might not see normally, or as well as for socialization purposes. Your puppy has a really critical socialization period, and they need to be socialized with 100 people or so a day or a week so that they get used to seeing other people, people with hats, people with canes, different ages. They need to see all those different people as well as greeting other dogs and meeting other dogs. Since the puppies are all off leash in this class, they do get to interact with the other puppies. And we want to encourage a certain variety of play when they are playing together. And that's what we like to do in this class.
Do you know that pet waste left in your yard or by the curb contains pathogens that may be dangerous to kids playing, can contaminate your vegetable garden, and can be washed down the storm sewer during a rainstorm, making the water in our rivers and lakes unfit for drinking and swimming? Even if your town has a combined sewer system that sanitizes stormwater before dumping it, heavy rains and snow can overwhelm the system. Untreated sewage is dumped into Lake Michigan several times a year. Please keep this in mind the next time you consider walking away from your pet's waste without picking it up. Double bagging the waste and sealing it, then throwing it in the trash is good. The goal is to contain the waste in the event of a trash spill or landfill leak. You can even buy corn-based, biodegradable doggy bag. Now here's some scoop on cat poop. I have read that the EPA says you can flush cat waste down the toilet minus the litter. However, eggs of a parasite found in cat waste may survive the treatment process and may cause defects in babies whose mothers were exposed, has been shown to harm sea otters, and may affect other wildlife as well. A good way to dispose of cat waste and litter is in sealed plastic bags thrown in the trash. Always wash your hands after disposing of pet waste. I use Thieves Foaming Hand Soap, a Young Living product. Here at Bark and Scratch Outpost, we want you and your pets to live happy, healthy lives. Our friendly staff is available 7 days a week to show you a variety of local and national brand pet foods. Be sure to visit our freezer area for a large selection of diets and bones. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mound Road. Leashed pets are always welcome. At Bark and Scratch Outpost, we think outside the bag.
Hi, I'm Lori Minetti. Your support through a tax-deductible donation makes it possible for Animal Fairy Charities to help save animals in need by supporting the wonderful people who are working day in and day out to provide shelter, food, and care for these animals, largely out of their own pockets. Please help us help them by calling today, 262-989-0604, or visit our website for more information at animalfairycharities.org.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Animal Doctor, Bark and Scratch Outpost, Hawes Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine.